We all know that goals and resolutions are really popular at the beginning of a new year, especially when it's the beginning of a new decade. And we also know that it's really common that 90% of those goals and resolutions have been forgotten by February. So this year, I want to help you stick with your goals, and I'm going to share 5 really easy things that you can put in place that are going to significantly increase your chances of achieving your goals this year. Hi, I'm Catherine, founder and principal therapist of Layton Sports Massage, sport and remedial massage therapy clinic in Angel, Layton, and Walthamstow. If you're one of my clients, you know I love the new year. I love reflecting on the old year. I love making goals, setting challenges, thinking about where I want to be. And just like you, probably life just gets in the way. And when I go back and look at my goals, half of them I've forgotten about. Like I write them down and they just go out of my head. So I've done a fair amount of research looking at different ways to make it easier to stick to your goals. And I wanted to share those with you because actually there are some really easy ways to do that. So the first easy tip that I have for you, easy is the name of my game, is define your goal. Now this sounds kind of obvious, but you'd be surprised how many people start the year and they're like, oh, I want to get in better shape, or I'm going to eat better, or I want to run more, or I want to exercise more, or I want to learn a new language, like whatever that is. That is impossible to figure out if you've achieved it. Or in the case of running more, if you've never run before and you run one time, that's technically running more. So you've made your resolution, but is that actually what you wanted? So you need to define it. Now, if you've not heard of SMART goals, because most people have, it's that it needs to be specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-based. And I really think achievable and realistic are kind of the same. So maybe I got one of those mixed up. But basically, the idea behind it is you want your goals to be like, you want to know if you succeeded, and you can only do that if you've measured. So instead of run more, say, I'd like to be able to run 5K. If you, instead of saying exercise more, say, I want to exercise twice a week. So as an example, one of my resolutions for this coming year is I want to exercise 3 times a week. I want to go on the treadmill or run once a week. I want to continue doing weights once a week. And I want to do at least 20 minutes of yoga once a week. Now, I know I'm not going to get to do that every week, but that is how I've defined it. I want it to be a habit. Now, I would really like to know, share in the comments, what's your goal in a way that you can define whether or not you've achieved it. I have other goals too. I have goals coming out the wazoo, but that's a fitness goal that I have. I also have life goals and family goals and business goals, and you don't want to know all of them. This video would be really long if I told you all of my goals, but just share with me one of your goals and how you're going to make it more SMART, more specific, measurable, realistic, and time-based. Number 2 is accountability. Now, accountability is so easy to do, but also so easy to overlook. So going back to my first goal with accountability, I have roped one of my therapists into going on a treadmill with me once a week, most weeks when we both don't have appointments. Just the fact that I know that she's going to be waiting for me, and hopefully that I'm going to be waiting for her, encourages both to show up and get on that treadmill, and it makes it so much easier to do. You can get accountability if you work out at a gym. You can probably find a gym partner who's a similar level with you. If you want to run, you can join a running club. Like in East London, we have East London Runners. You can probably find someone in a running group, an athletics group that you could join. If you have a goal specific to a hobby that you're interested in and you're in a Facebook group, ask in a Facebook group, say, hey, I'd like to be accountable for this. I actually have an accountability buddy for my business who owns a yoga studio, and I 100% get more done because we send each other weekly emails to keep each other accountable and on track with our goals and encourage each other. So definitely have a look at where you can get somebody who's going to hold you accountable for what you're going to do. You're much more likely to actually show up and do it. Number 3, put your money where your mouth is. Quite simply, making a financial commitment to what you want your goal to be can often help, but you do have to know yourself to know which one is going to work. For example, you may sign up to a gym because you know if you're paying money to a gym every month that you will go. But down to your personality, if the gym is only 20 pounds a month, you might not go because for you, you might think, oh, it's just 20 pounds. I spend that on a night out. I don't mind losing that every month. Whereas if you sign up for an 80-pound a month gym, you probably will go because you don't want to lose that money. But for other people, just the financial commitment is enough. Sometimes you need more than that. There are even websites that you can go and you can say, okay, if I don't achieve my goal, you can take this money and give it to a charity that I hate or an organization that I hate. Like if there's somebody you don't like, which again, you have to know yourself because that wouldn't motivate me, but that does motivate some people. And to be honest, this is one of the reasons that we created our monthly membership at the clinic, because we have a lot of clients who want to have a monthly massage as part of their self-care. That's what they want to do to take care of themselves. But often they'll miss a month and they'll forget and they'll push it back. So when people sign up for a membership, because they have that automatic payment coming out every month, they are more invested in actually showing up for their monthly session. So if there's a way that you can put money down to guarantee that you're going to do it, it's a very good way to motivate yourself to stick to your goal. Side note, if you're interested in our memberships, I'll include a link in the description so you can check it out and see if it might be right for you if you're in London and you'd like to have a regular massage. Number 4, schedule it in your diary. Now, I know this seems like nothing, right? Because of course you can always ignore your diary, but this is actually weirdly effective. So if you say that you want to do something once a week, like you want to meditate once or twice a week, or you want to go for a run once a week on a Saturday morning, and you put it in your diary, you are so much more likely to do it. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that little notification popping up that says, now you need to do this, that I stick to my diary a lot of the time. And then if something comes up, especially if you use a digital diary like Google Calendar, Outlook Calendar, you can just move it to a better slot, but then you have it there looking you in the face every time you go and look at your calendar, reminding you that you're going to do this activity that's part of your goal. So definitely, especially if you're training for an event, have your scheduled training scheduled in your diary as time that's blocked off, and you're much more likely to stick to it. Number 5, reward yourself. Again, this will depend on the person, but having something to look forward to when you achieve your goal is really motivating. You know, it might be that you go for a spa day, or it might be that you go out to your favorite restaurant, or it might be that you go for a reflexology appointment or even a massage. If you put this thing up as, okay, if I do this, then I will reward myself with this, it's a good way to not only encourage you to do it, but it's a positive reinforcement. So if your brain starts to associate the reward with the activity, then you're even more likely to do it. If you were going to choose a reward, what kind of reward would you choose? I think for me, I would definitely want to go get like one of those deluxe facials with like a neck and shoulder massage. I absolutely love those. Or maybe like I would go to WH Smith and like look at all of their stationery because I love stationery. As you've seen from these tips, they're not rocket science. Like they're not super complicated to get yourself set up for success. So if you have goals that you want to accomplish, why don't start with your accountability now and stick a comment below and let us know what goal you want and what your time frame is for achieving it. Maybe you'll find other people have like-minded goals and you guys can cheer each other on. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe and share it with anybody you know who has goals for the new year. If you have a favorite method for making it easier to keep your goal, let me know which one it is, because I'd like to see if there's a consensus where like more people like one versus the other. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.